What is up? What is up, people? Welcome back. Another episode of the O.O.C. MSK is in the house. He just made it in the house today. What's up, brother?
I like white people, so I shouldn't be here, actually, you know?
What?
We like white people, too.
For the minority of one.
You said you only dated black women, you liar.
I never said that. I never. But you
just got the whole damn rainbow gallery, man. Black, white, red, yellow, blue.
Yeah,
There's
but
blue women? That sounds disgusting.
MSK is the one that said he don't date black women. You know
hey,
what I mean?
I said not sexually attracted.
You know, I'm
touching that.
I hear you, MSK. No, Nightwing, I hear you, man.
This is not. Man, they just don't like. They don't get me off. Like it's all,
my baby's mom is white. Most of my catalog has been white. But you know what? I've come around.
Most of my catalog.
Most of my catalog has been my stable.
The male person drops off the fucking newest things on sale at the stores and shit. He's got a catalog of women and prices and shit.
It's like, buying off freaking Sears catalog. Yeah,
buy one, get one free.
Yeah, we need to see some pictures of this catalog, Josh. You know what I mean? Is it thick?
Did I ever show you the gallery?
No, I never got the gallery yet.
All right, man.
Let me see that taxi money gallery.
Everybody in the chat, welcome LDG, Gamer King 316, Drop Shop. Welcome to the show. Glad you guys can make it. We'll probably have another guest coming in here today, but you know how we do. We always talk about what we want to get off our chest. And since Josh is limited time today, I am going to let Josh start it up. What do you have to get off your chest, brother?
All right, here we go. All right. So, I want to say a couple weeks ago or however long ago it was, I'm saying this topic. I went to Lowe's, and first off, I noticed the landscape of if you guys, I don't know if you guys have Lowe's up there. It's a hardware store, so paint, everything, all that stuff. Okay. So first off, the landscape I noticed, and I've noticed it every time I've went in there, or Home Depot, actually, same thing. It's actually 70 to 80% women, about 8 or 7 out of 10. And I just a little thing. I was like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. So I go there one day. I look for a heat gun. This heat gun right here. Mm-hmm. And I find an associate, a nice young lady. When I say young, she was in her 40s or whatever. She's probably worked at Lowe's for a good 2-3 years or so, something like that. Experienced woman. And I asked her about where the heat guns are. I'm like, do you know where the heat guns are? I need one for, she's like, well, a heat gun. No, I don't know. And she's trying to call someone, trying to figure out what's going on. Do you know where the heat guns are, Bob or Billy, whatever it is? And then she's like, well, what do you need it for? I said, well, I'm fixing phones. And she looked at me like I had like 18 heads. She said to me, she was like, phones? What do you need the heat gun for a phone? Well, it's to separate, to warm up the glue to separate the screen. And she's like, glue? What are you talking about? This is my point, though. My point is, because I want to get to that, I eventually found Bob, right? Mm-hmm. One of the 30% of men in this hardware store. And I asked Bob, where are the heat guns? He said, oh, come here, sir. I'll take you right to it. Aisle 11. This is where it is. And he's like, well, what do you need it for? Oh, I need it for phones. Oh, phones? Oh, well, here, let me use a smaller one. It has less, BTUs of heat or whatever it is. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I go to the counter. The woman is right back there. The same woman. I don't know if she's following me or whatever. But go to the counter, and she's like, oh, you found it. You found the heat gun. You found it. Yes, I did, ma'am. I did. And she's like, well, yeah, I never heard anything about that with phones. And my phone, I don't think that it comes with glue or any of that. I don't think that it attaches the phone. So then she looks at her phone. She's like, oh, wait. Oh, it does. Oh, you're right. And I'm like, this is my point, man. Like, I don't mind equality in the workplace for women or men. There was a couple other things that happened there that were a little pressing too. But first off, it's not equality because there's way more women than men. It's equity, it seems like. but no matter what you have, man, if you have a penis, vagina, both, none, you should know what the fuck you're doing at your job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you fought for the spot.
Incompetence is everywhere, Josh. Incompetence is everywhere.
Quality. You fought for. I don't care what you have, dude. If you have a penis, vagina, both, nothing, a Zorlac, something else I never even heard of. If I asked you to find me a screw, I want you to know what aisle it's in so I can go get it. You know what I mean? Whatever the case is. Another thing that I noticed that happened there too, same place at Lowe's. One woman, she was kind of struggling with a pallet she was pushing to the back, big pallet of whatever, power drills, whatever it was. And one of the customers, male customer, came in, white knight. Hey, sweetie, you all right? You look like you're struggling with that. And did you want any help? She said yes. She asked the customer. She's like, yeah, if you want to. If you want to help me, you can. If she would have asked me, I would have been like, no, I don't work here. Maybe you should call Bob, or you applied for the job. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I completely understand what you're saying, but I'm going to play devil. I'm going to play devil's advocate on this one, because I have been to stores and maybe it wasn't her department. You know what I mean? Maybe she was in like the light bulb department, or
this wasn't the first time, by the way. This is like as consistent.
I get it. But have you actually talked to someone that worked in that department though? Like if you're going for the glue ones, it was someone that worked.
I didn't know what department it was in. That's why I was trying to find out where it was.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Right. But overall, in general, like we're talking about equality with women and men, and not only the workplace, but in other areas we've spoken about too, like sports. It's another place where, Wait,
hold on. You think women shouldn't be in sports?
I don't want to move. What was that?
You don't think women should be doing like sports stuff?
No, I think women should be doing women's sports is what I was going to get into. I don't even want to get into
no.
Okay.
Let's get into
You got a lot of shit on your chest, and then you're going to run away.
No, I'm not running away, man. I just,
So you don't think women should ref males basketball?
That's a good question. Women should ref men's basketball. Can they keep up with both sides of the court? If they can do that, then...
Well, those 90-year-old men do. Fucking old wrinkled up referees in the NBA tripping all over people and drinks and shit. How can these guys keep up and see what's going on?
No, that's true. I meant more so men and women's sports, like we had spoken about that. Not really men. No, not even the football one. I'm talking about the track star that just ran laps around these women. She was a trans.
Okay.
That's something different.
Yeah, that's something totally different.
Yeah, that's different, man. That's
why I don't want to get too off topic, because this is a broad thing that I'm getting into.
I just want to ask you: is Lowe's is it massive?
Mm-hmm.
Like our Home Depot and shit.
Yeah,
they're here in Canada too, Rob. They're in Ontario.
Lowe's?
Yeah, they're in Ontario. I think there might be one in Quebec. Lowe's owns
Rona. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have
because
Lowe's and Home Depot.
You go in Home Depot, man. God forbid you're not in construction, because it's like you're fucking lost on another planet in there. I hate going to that fucking place. I hate it.
Except for Bob, though. Bob wasn't lost. Bob knew exactly where the heat gun was.
But there's always 10 people around Bob when I go. I don't have the patience for that shit, man.
Are they women or men?
I don't even take the time to look. I just go, there's just too much people. I'm out of here. I go to Canadian Tire and spend maybe $2 more with a smaller line,
I only noticed because of how daunting some of the things I was seeing was, like the confusion and looking at me like I had 18 heads, like I'm a Hydra, like where is this? Where is that? Do you know where? Just do your job. Here, let me play devil's advocate too, because I want to juxtapose it with another thing that I've seen. When I go to AutoZone, also I noticed that it's mostly women, or it's a little closer. It's like probably 60-40 women to men. Another area that is generally masculine. All right, I'm just gonna say same thing with Home Depot, same thing with Lowe's. When I ask the women at AutoZone, when I ask them, hey, I need power steering fluid, she knows. She's like, oh, do you need .3 or .4? I think I need .3 because it's older. Oh, cool. Well, I'll get you .3 because you don't want to use .4. I've had one woman at AutoZone. You know, I was going to put the battery in. I was going to get my 10-inch screw, put my battery in. She's like, no, don't worry. I'll do it. She put the battery in. I give them props for that, you know, because Bob or Johnny or Chris, whoever it was, said, you know, I'll go take it. And she was like, no, I got this. I got Josh's battery. I'm going to hook this brother up, man.
So then does that come down more to training than anything else?
What do you think?
I'm asking you, bro. I'll say yes. I'll say yes. It comes more down to training than anything else, to be honest with you. But go ahead.
But traditionally, you know, men.
Yes, they're men jobs. I get it.
Yeah.
So you're hating on women, basically, right? For men's positions, is that it? Is that what I'm taking in a nutshell?
One thing, like either way, like I noticed. First off, I want to complain to corporate about inequality in the workplace. Way more women than men. I think we need more man jobs in there. No, seriously though. I mean, you know, it's something I've just noticed. Like more.
Josh, you're lucky there's not a lot of women on this show. They'd be fucking hating on you, man.
I'm like, no, come on.
Oh shit, they'd be hating. Where's Mama Bear?
Where's Mama Bear?
Where's Dandelion? She'd be all over you.
Well, Mama Bear might be able to put my battery in my car, man. I might trust Mama Bear with the battery. Shout out. However, though, I will say this. Have you ever gone to the mechanic and seen a woman put your tires, brakes, etc., etc.? If you have, maybe
I haven't.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I haven't, to be honest.
How would you feel about that? If like, oh, Sally,
I wouldn't care.
If she
wouldn't bother me.
If she could do the job. MSK, what do you have to say? Been a little quiet.
He's muted, man.
Oh, what happened? I was just setting some things up. Oh, yeah, you hate women. It's confirmed. Yeah. So when like the women like watch this entire replay, he's gonna have like a ton of dislikes. I foresee like 100 dislikes. You fucking woman hater. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened. It's kind of like I don't know. So like, it's like a two-way double-edged sword thing. So like. People go off word of mouth so much they don't want to watch anything. So like you know, like how we just did our like the Spiral movie review we did like a couple of weeks ago, and like people said they didn't like Spiral, but then they won't watch a movie because critics say it's bad. It's like, well, how do you know if it's bad if you don't actually go watch it yourself? I know like a ton of people that do that. I always watch stuff just for myself and see if I like it or not. I don't care what a critic says. A critic is just like me or you. I don't care if you went to school for film or some horseshit like that. It doesn't matter. It's all subjective anyway, you know? Like I don't know, I've watched a ton of stuff where people say it's bad, and I'm like, this is actually pretty good. But who are you listening to? Well, the critics told me it's bad. Well, that means you like sheep number 3 is what I call you.
Oh wait, MSK. Yeah. We're off my topic, I guess.
No, but I don't like you actually. I don't like you actually. You know, but no, women in the workplace. I don't know, man. I work with a lot of women. Like I don't know, they're just. I don't know. I wish there were more guys that I work with.
I've worked with a lot more women like in the workplace.
Wait, where do you guys work? Men,
although.
I'm an insurance adjuster.
Oh, okay.
Bullshit.
Right, but that's not. That wasn't the whole.
Is that what we're calling it now?
You guys got what I was getting at. Right.
The women are doing men's jobs.
Sure.
I mean, I've worked with like a lot of diverse, like with women and men. But I mean, there's been a few jobs where I've worked with mostly men, and there's like some jobs, like recent jobs I've worked at, like with a lot more women. And I've worked like around with a lot more like more female, like more women, like bosses too.
Yeah, what were they? What were those jobs? That was.
Well, my current job that I work right now is like at Carl's Jr. right now. So I went back from being a manager to being a cashier because I didn't like management anymore. My
point is, you weren't a barber, a mechanic.
No, none of that.
A hardware store. Well,
wait.
No.
You don't think a woman should be a barber either?
Oh my God, this man's crazy.
I'm gonna flip it back, and I'm gonna flip it back on you guys. Would you have a woman barber?
Would you have
Why
a clap?
not?
Hey, man.
I get my cuts from women. So
Yeah.
Josh,
Hey,
what's
man.
going on, man?
I'm just.
This can either be good or really bad, huh?
I mean, like, are you like turning to dudes? Yeah, I sound like you want to turn to dudes now. By the way you're talking.
Yeah, like what's going on, man?
No,
Hey,
I'm just
man.
talking about like in the
Like this whole
I'm
woman
talking
thing's a
about the
facade.
juxtaposition of all right. This is the point. The juxtaposition of, talking about how women want equality in the workplace. It depends, but like I'd seen at Lowe's, this male masculine store with wherever it is, and same thing with AutoZone, and I'd seen more equity rather than equality. I'd seen it go the complete opposite way, where I feel like there's more women, and also they don't know.
Maybe because they have more doors opening up to them now, because women are getting more rights, and there's jobs that women wanted to do that they were never able to do before, like mechanics, plumbing, woodwork.
Right, and that's why
there's all types of women, and maybe they're the butchy kind. To each their own. You just can't hold them back based on female or male. Because if a woman could be a cop,
you know what?
A woman could do anything.
If you can do the job, yes. Well, that's a whole nother.
Well, fuck. I mean, men fail just like women, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll put it this way too about
incompetence comes in all genders.
Well, I'm
man.
glad you also talked about women being cops and firemen. That's interesting too. But
speaking about women with with cops and stuff like that, if you're talking about military wise, pretty soon, women are actually going to be in special forces, like actually in combat alongside men, like being in special forces, like Army Rangers, stuff like that. They're going to be in there eventually.
Josh already looking like he's like, nah, I don't think that should happen.
Well, put it this way: there's already been
I need somebody to back me up here.
So let me.
As long as they buy your gas money and they cook for you and stuff, I guess they're good.
That shit might stop right now. Tank on E.
So let me ask you this: if you went to the barbershop, right, and you seen that a woman she was cutting people's hair and she was badass, putting all these designs in someone's hair, you still wouldn't like to cut her hair? You still wouldn't let her cut her hair?
She can do it, and I'll say this: there was a woman who she's no longer a woman now. She was one of my barbers, Nikki. Now she's currently Nicholas. She also did mechanic work, and she was a barber. She did mechanic work. She was a DJ. Very good at all of those jobs. And again, she's a man now.
Hold on. Is she a man, or is she? Do you get
she's a man, and I don't know if she gained the equipment. I don't know if they had it.
Okay, so she's not a man.
She's a man, I think.
But I actually know what you're trying to say on that situation, though, Josh.
Yeah. The question is she more manly than MSK?
Oh shit! And I know feminine women that are more manly than MSK.
Oh my god!
Shit, the table's
what's going on here?
What did I do?
I don't know.
I've had sex with tons of women, so it's okay.
If I'm sure my old barber Nicholas has as well. She has that thing 3D printed the right way or donated. I don't know how they do it. I don't know the process, but maybe she is more manly. I don't know. But I digress. Women as policemen and firemen, another thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Roberto, you're a big guy, right? Me too. I'm a big guy. Whatever, let's assume that we're in a burning building, right? We're trapped there, right? And you have a choice of another big masculine man, maybe 6'5", electrician. Okay, cool. Or you have a choice of a female. Maybe she's a little smaller. Maybe she's 5'8". Maybe she's.
Does she do CrossFit?
She's 100. Does she do CrossFit?
Yeah.
Sure, she does CrossFit.
I'll take the woman.
You're gonna take the woman to carry you, and
she'll carry me on her shoulders like nothing. Then grab the battle ropes. Okay. But you know what, Josh? This is like a question that honestly will never happen. You're never going to be in a fire and have a choice of choosing a man or a woman to save you. So basically, you're telling me if a woman comes, you're going to say, "Let me burn." You're afraid she might drop you or something?
Sorry, I'll look for someone else.
I don't understand your question.
It will be up to her to save me. I'll be passed out from the smoke. I don't have I won't have a choice. So, my big.
But you just said if I had a choice. If I had a choice between a 6'5" guy and
I just want your logical here, Roberto. Logical, baby. Logical.
Yes,
man.
okay, but I'm trying to make it fair. You're making this guy like Hulk Hogan and making this woman like Pee Wee Herman. Obviously, you're gonna choose the
Tony.
Would you rather have me? I'm a big dude. Would you rather have me, who I literally got into a fight with 2 dudes? Would you rather have me, the bouncer at a club for X?
Who's the woman?
Who's the woman
that you're making a comparison
to? Gal Gadot. How about that?
Is that Wonder Woman?
Yeah, it's Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll take her.
She'll save you from the fire.
Oh, come on,
I'll take her. Yeah, I'll take her.
Tell him.
You know what? I don't know what Josh's cardio is like after 4 or 5, maybe even 2 flights. He starts panting and we both burn. I don't know what his cardio is like, but I know her cardio is good. But how far are you carrying me before you run out of fucking breath? You know what I mean? At least she's going. At least I don't know. I'm not trying to insult you or nothing, Josh.
No.
You might be running marathons and shit.
No, that's fine. I understand. My cardio is bad. I'll.
Okay, that's why I would choose her. You asked me a straight up question.
No, but
no disrespect, my brother. You know we share love every week. But you asked the question.
Up 300 and X. I don't know how much.
Whoa. Thank you for the compliment.
No, I don't know. You said you were big.
If you, yeah, but you know, big.
240.
You could be big with a small waist, right? You could be big with a small waist. You could be big with fucking slopes on you and shit. You know.
To make a point, though. My point is.
Chronic.
Okay, here's same thing with the police officer.
You asked the wrong guy the question tonight, man.
I know, because you're not judgment, but you know what you know what the truth is, man.
I'm having fun. I'm having fun with it, Josh.
What you think the truth is. But listen, when you go in to be a firefighter, right? Mm-hmm. The training that you have to go through, they are not going to hire you if you can't do the job, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And it's
I am
no matter with the we have to have a certain amount of
no, there's an academy.
Yeah. There's an academy.
My older brother works as a volunteer firefighter.
How many?
You ever see what they go through?
It's intense, bro. Because I was gonna sign up to be after I graduated from high school. I actually looked into an academy in Ottawa, and I saw what they do. And I looked at that and I'm like, no, I'm not even going to pass this fucking.
That's insane. That's beyond CrossFit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's some crazy shit.
Running, I don't know, 8 flights of stairs.
11
tank with the tank.
Not only a tank and a body. Yeah. They have to carry or pull or whatever equivalent of a dummy, a body weight of 180 pounds.
Yeah. At least 200, at least.
Yeah.
Sasuke, sorry, Susaki.
Well, just call me Andrea. That's fine.
Andrea. Yeah, Andrea. How many women are there in your brother's fire department?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know because it's in a different state, and I never asked him anything about that. But I'm pretty sure there might be at least 1 or 2, maybe. I'm pretty sure it's mostly a lot of men.
Here's the deal. I went a little too far, too, by the way. I went a little too crazy with it, and I avoided this topic for months, man. Maybe a month or so.
Maybe your timing is perfect because we have no women in the chat. Your timing is perfect.
Or Mrs. Dandelion, what's going on?
I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm talking about that. I'm bringing that fire. They say no heat gun shit though, man. But either way, whatever it is. I just want you to be good at your job. I don't care what you have. You wanted it. You wanted it so bad. You wanted equality so bad. You fought for it so bad. Do it or don't. You know what I mean? Either do it or don't do it.
No, I feel you. But what I'm saying is a lot of them. Okay, I can understand your store one because not much training that needs to be done. You know what I mean? You just need to be able to anybody can basically get that job. So I completely understand that. But when you're bringing up firefighting and when you're bringing up being a police officer,
I did go a little bit too much.
The training that
you went a little too far with that one, Josh. A little.
my cousin daughter is doing firefighting, man, and I was watching some of her videos. Man, she has to put on that uniform quick, and she's battling guys and shit. You know,
Good
so
for
if
her,
you can,
man.
yeah, if you can
Good
do
for
it,
her
man.
to do it. Good for her to do it. I'm just saying, you know, if you can't do it, then don't. You know, don't fight to be something that you can't be. You know what I mean?
What about that? What about that fat donut eating fireman who you know all he's there is to hold the hose down. He can't run up no stairs. He can't. He can't
drive the truck.
Why shouldn't he be fired? Exactly. He's driving the truck. Why shouldn't he get fired?
The hose.
You know, when you see those
he can
out of
hold
shape
the hose,
people.
he can carry.
Yeah, man.
He's a big
Joshua,
dude. He can carry him on his back. Oh no, I don't know.
This ain't no Chicago fucking fire, man. We have model tanks.
Well, hopefully it's not. You know, hopefully. No, and again, I don't even know where that all came from. I think it's because you mentioned fire, and I was like, oh ding, I had a light bulb in my head. But you know,
but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you 100%. I do. If you're in a position, like, it could be for anything. It could be tech support for, I guess, Microsoft or whatever, right? If you're sitting in that chair, you better. It's like at my job, we have women that are in the service department, right? They have to learn all the types of panels we install, keypads and all that to troubleshoot with the customers. So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. If you're sitting in that chair, you have to know A to Z and what your job entitles.
Go out in the fields and actually do it, like just like at Lowe's.
That's what they're doing.
When I ask you what power drill I need, I mean, you most likely work there. You should probably know a thing or two about how to, build a shelf or whatever.
Exactly. So if the person asks,
it is what you have.
If you go there, you want Robertson screws number 2, right? You should know what the hell that we're talking about.
Yeah,
right.
I agree with that.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Exactly.
If I want
what type of man are you, man? You don't know what a Robertson number 2 is.
Oh, Robinson screw. Okay.
Robertson screw. Yeah, it's the square ones. You know that.
You are a carpenter, right?
Yeah, I do. I've done a lot of shit. Yeah.
Like Jesus, yeah, I've done it at like novice level. Like I built shelves and different things. I built this hutch or whatever right here, but I mean, I still need to go.
When he talks, like that's just professional, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's still supposed to come in here and fix my wires up for me.
So when you go to Lowe's, did you notice anything like similar experience?
Well, it's funny you say that because I got called today. I was supposed to work from home, right?
Yeah.
And I got called by a colleague of mine. He goes, "Guys, are you coming in?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am. Why?" I wasn't planning on it, but you need me there. I'll. It takes me 10 minutes. Yeah, because the toilet in the central station is broken. And I'm like, so, okay. Now I'm the fucking company's plumber too now. So I'm like, he goes, yeah, we need a new flap for the tank and this. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went to Rona, which is Lowe's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm there with, my jeans and a blue shirt. And I'm looking for the flap. And this guy goes to me, excuse me, do you know what the shutoff valve flows are for this? And I look at him and I look at my attire and I look at the people that work there. I'm like, shit, we're dressed the fucking same way.
You had a Josh moment, but you were dressed that way, man.
Exactly. So
and
I'm like,
knew.
No, I didn't because I went to one that I'm not used to going to, so I don't know where everything is. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't work here. And he looks at me head to toe, and he's like, oh. So, it's just when I go to these places, like if I go to the Rona that's in LaSalle that I know of, like I know where everything is pretty much, and I've been in those places when my dad owned the buildings. I was going there every 2 days to buy material for work and stuff like that. So I knew where my shit was, and I knew what their things were called, and so yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I went to Home Depot and I've asked dudes that worked there, and they didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. You know what I mean? There's dudes that didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, bro.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Incompetence goes. There's no really gender incompetence.
It goes for everybody. Everyone.
Yeah,
you are a misogynist asshole.
No.
Listen, I went to a grocery store. I asked the guy for a specific sauce. Now I know they have it. I just don't know what aisle it's in. Guy's like, he keeps repeating what I asked for. Let's just say it's this sauce, huh? It's this sauce, huh? Let me see. He's fucking bringing me all around the place like I was doing by myself, right? Finally, we run out of aisles. He tells me, you know what? We don't have it. I don't think we sell it. I go, that's fucking easy cop out, bitch. Okay, let me go look in the aisle I really think it is, and I'm gonna scope it over there. And sure enough, I found it.
Mm-hmm.
I get to the checkout. Who's at the cash?
Same dude.
Captain Ignoramus. Oh, you found it! Yo,
oh my gosh.
That's
Maybe
why,
the woman would have found it better though, since they're better at cooking. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
I swear, like,
hey, listen, you're really bet. You know, if I was running this show, you know I'd be giving you that button. We don't do it on the O.O.C, but you be getting it, Josh.
That was jokes.
You're digging hard, yo.
No, I am. I was. And
do me a favor, Anzo. Reach out to Dandelion Fluff and Mama Bear. Bring them out, man. You know how to get them on here? Let's see if Josh's cojones are still the same size.
it definitely.
Wow.
Man, Roberto's on me today, man.
Yeah, man, that's what that chronic duty is sometimes. So we're gonna get into my topic this week because we didn't get into it last week. And my topic is going to be about white privilege. We had a little bit of discussion on the chaos list, so we're going to discuss it again. Now, do you guys think white privilege exists? Do you think it's bullshit? Huh?
I have it.
Yeah, because you are the whitest motherfucker on the panel right now, bro. We know that. So anybody wants to chime in, go right ahead.
Whoa! So you're just turning. You're talking about it, and you're just turning it on us. Damn.
Because no, just in general, like white privilege. Okay, so
white privilege is more like an ideology, if anything else. I don't believe it exists. It exists because it was projected to be that way.
It's one of these like perpetuated things that people fucking think about.
Because if you really think about it, the more common folk people, like the more common like white people, they're not white. They don't have white privilege, in my opinion, because it's more of politicians and rich people that have the privilege, and they project it on the everyday citizen, the everyday person that's working hard.
So it's more class privilege rather than a.
It's more classism than like a race privilege. It's not a race privilege at all.
I lean more towards what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
It's more classism.
I get what you're saying.
And I get what you're saying too. Mm-hmm. But why can't it be both? Right? We got to understand something, that even though it's a lot about class, right? And I get it, you know, a lot about the decisions that we as Black people make too. But sometimes we have to work 10 times harder to get into positions of power, or that you guys wouldn't have to do. You know what I mean? So it's not just about class. It's not just about white privilege.
I agree too. Like it's also mixed in with the race into it too.
Right.
And that's where it gets projected, and that's where the projection comes from.
I will say this: as Black men, we're a little bit more scrutinized, whether or not, like, we'll take a Jay-Z or like a Dr. Dre or somebody who's like has the class, they have the billions of dollars, they have the millions of dollars. The second that they do something that's even remotely out of whack, it's gonna be headline news. It's gonna be scrutinized way more than if, like, look at Kevin Spacey. You know, Kevin Spacey. I mean, yeah, he was scrutinized. But I mean, dear Christ, I mean, you know, he's like molesting like 14-year-old little boys or whatever. But meanwhile, like, you'll have somebody who's like, oh, did you see Jay-Z just broke up with Beyonce? Oh my God, it's the end of the world. Like the whole thing. It's like
God forbid he cheated. You know what I mean?
He did cheat. Yeah.
No, I know. But I mean, like, but she stayed with him. So God forbid he cheated and she left. Then everybody, you know what I mean? It would be
more amplified rather than
right. So I'm not saying that
Nerdman.
Oh yeah, Nerdman's in the house. What up, Nerdman?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's all about white privilege, and this is the thing, there's a lot of absolutes, right? So a lot of people will either say, oh no, that's pure white privilege, and a lot of people say, no, it's not, it's classism or stuff like that. I always like to think that there's a balance between the both, right? Because I'll give you an example, and I don't know if I told Roberto this story, but I was working at a place, right? And I had applied for a job one time, never got a call back, nothing. So I was working at this place one time, and one of this owners, an owner from another company, he kept coming in there, right? And every time he kept coming in there, and Roberto knows, like, whenever I was doing telemarketing, I was number one. I was always on top, right? So he kept coming in there every day, kept looking at the boards, right? Kept looking at the boards, seeing my numbers were top every day. So one day now I'm home and I get a call. and it's him, but I don't really know it's him at first, right? So it's like, hello. He's like, oh, Anzo, and he said my name right. Usually when people call me, he's like Enzo or Nizzo or some shit, but he said my name right, like completely right. So that was a little okay. He said my name right. Okay, no problem. Maybe you got it right. Whatever. Oh, are you still looking for work, massages? I'm like, no, I'm kind of working someplace right now, but you know what I mean? What you got? Because I'm always looking for something better. Oh, how much you making? Don't know what you're making. So, okay, I can beat that for you. No problem. Right. And I said, okay, cool. No problem. I'm going to come in and I'll check out the interview and stuff like that. And he's like, your name is unique. And I'm like, yeah, my name's African. I got an African name. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, because it's funny because you talk very well. And usually, and he was like, usually Black people don't do so well in this type of work.
There's the projection that's going.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you projected that because of my name and shit, right? So I can't remember how I figured out that it was the guy that kept coming in there, but I ended up figuring out, and I didn't take the job. I was like, nah, I'm good, once he said that. And then that was the same place I was working at. They gave us internet access, right? We could do internet. So I was working on the internet and I was on Messenger, and Roberto pops up and he's like, hey, what you doing? And I'm telling him what I'm doing. And he's like, yo, I'm doing the same thing over here. How much you making? He told me how much I'm making. And boom, I left there and went over there, right? So I was looking for different opportunities. But just the fact that this guy wouldn't have hired me because my name, like that's judgment, And I know there's a lot of names kind of like white people have that are unusual and stuff like that, which can happen, but when you actually see like a Black person's name, that kind of a strike against you right away, because they don't usually think that they either think we're Jamaican, African, Haitian, or something like that. They don't actually think that I'm a Canadian Black guy. You know what I mean? So that's why I say there's always this stigma about it.
A well-spoken Canadian Black guy. Don't forget that.
Sometimes.
Name and hair,
Sometimes.
by the way. Anzo.
Well, Anzo, you sound like a white guy on the phone.
Yeah, you use your white voice. You did the start
all the time. All the time. You just don't put the A in there to give off that you're Canadian.
Right. You got to switch that up.
You try and sound like you're from Nebraska.
I was going to say, Anzo, to extend it, name and hair. Like I'm taking a huge risk growing out my hair. I mean, Kevin Samuels actually had a whole talk about this too. I've been growing out my afro and picking it out, doing all this stuff. I mean, that's another thing where it's like he looks like the part. He's not like clean shaven. Kevin Samuels was saying about how if you're Black, you're in the game, you're fighting in the game. You need to make sure everything's clean shaven, not have dreads or not have, whatever, an afro or something that, because you're more scrutinized. And you know what I mean? Just say what you said about what the guy said. We're like, oh, you speak really well. You're not saying, yo, what up, son? Yeah,
Yeah, and now that you mentioned, that's not the first time. Okay, here's another story. So one time I'm in the metro, right? And I don't know, but there was this Asian girl in the metro one time. And she kept looking at me. She's like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm here from Canada, from Nova Scotia, And she's like, oh, you're Black though. And I'm like, yeah, I'm Black, but I'm from Canada, And then she was like, oh, and you don't talk with the yo thing. And I was like, really? Like, really? That's how you portray us. And I blame a lot of that on the music. I do. You know what I mean?
Why don't you tell her, hey,
it's really the music
you speak perfect English too, and hey, your teeth are white, and hey, I'd be playing tennis with them. Like, you want a stereotype? I'll fucking throw all kinds of you too. Immigration's coming. No, I'm just joking.
Roberto's on one. You on one today, baby?
Yeah, you know what? I'm hot. I got heat in me, and I wish I was on last night to release it. So maybe it's a carryover from last night.
It is a carryover.
Game Changers had a topic, man, that I said, fuck, I should have been there. Fuck.
Roberto, you got so much heat on you, man. I think I need like some fire women or men to
you got so much heat on you, I can burn a freaking joint or a
It's just, right, you know what? I respect women to the utmost.
Hey, I do too,
I'm a mama's boy. I ain't ashamed to say it. I got two beautiful girls, and I got to fight for their rights. I got to fight for their freedoms. Not only are they women, they're mixed race too. So they're battling all kinds right now, you know? So when it comes to like holding them back or any kind of talk, I'm not singling you out, Josh. I'm just saying in general, when people can't progress as much as we've progressed in the last decade, the fact that we're still talking about women having equal rights, it doesn't make sense. We should have been up there already. Because if you don't look around you and see women driving Range Rovers and R8s and, you know, they're driving sick cars and it's not their husbands.
No,
I'll tell you that right now.
Women are making more money than men right
they're
now.
coming. They're coming. Yeah. So for us to still be shocked with the fact that, you know, okay, it's going to take one woman to ref a basketball game and she's going to go through scrutiny like anybody else, but eventually there's going to be more. Just like, and how long has hockey been around? 3 black guys started for the first time in history.
In the same lineup. Like
on the same line. That's what I'm saying. On the same line, 3 black guys in history.
Yep.
A lot of people don't like it, but it's a start. You know what I mean, Josh?
Yeah.
How many people are going to say, hey, know your role. You're not going to make lines now. What are you going to do? Try and take over the team like basketball and football? You're going to hear all of that shit. You just have to accept change. Change is good.
I agree.
I was talking about change.
Change is good.
I also don't want to take away from
what type of change.
Josh wants to see the hot booty chicks in their bikinis washing his car, not changing his tires. Hey, that's what Josh wants. To do my windows. Not my tires, do my windows. Look, he's blushing. He's blushing.
That's my part of my
That's your dream. Your dream's to open a strip car wash.
I'm living my dream.
But we're talking a car wash, Josh.
Let me get to this comment that Nerdman said. Think about this. In Asia, blacks are routinely fired if a white person applies for the job, even if they are doing a good job, because whites are presumed to be more educated just in virtue of skin.
And that has to do with being more the civilized part of that too. How they grow up, they feel. I mean, look at the early 1700s. So like that late, 1600s.
Asians don't like blacks, They don't like blacks.
That is correct.
And now they want us to
say something about that, but
well, it's true. Listen, I'm not singling out one race. Like I could say Koreans or Chinese. I'm saying a lot of Asians don't like blacks. And
in their home countries,
And when they go to China, they get treated like shit, man. Like shit. So I didn't want to go there. That's a whole nother story.
No, I agree with that. I read documentaries. I've seen all that.
It's fucking bad. It's fucking bad. You'll never see my BA, which is abbreviated for black ass. You'll never see my black ass in China. I'll tell you that right now.
And then what Nerdman was saying, it does have to go back with the civilized part, because think about it here. Like when the settlers came here in this country, in this land, they were thinking the Indians, the Native Americans, that are uncivilized, they're savage, they're evil, they're the red devils, all that. But they were more civilized than the white people, really, if you think about it.
Absolutely, 100%.
And that's why all that classism stuff comes from, but it stems way back from thousands of years back.
Oh yeah,
if you want to go back to how Egyptians were doing to the Jews, really, for thousands of years.
Well, I agree with you guys 100%. Like classism is a thing.
It is, but that's the thing. It's been mixed with racism into it. So it clouds it, and then when you keep putting the focus on the racism over it, then it keeps projecting to be just about racism.
Right. That's
the classism.
And that's the thing I was talking about when it comes to kind of absolutes. Like a lot of people like to eat. Someone has a crow.
Oh, that's from me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. It's all good. Yeah, so I'm saying some people, it's like when they speak in absolutes, it's either one or the other, and it's not always black and white. There's a lot of gray in that area too. So it's not always just black and white. It's not always racism. Sometimes it's classism as well. You know what I mean? There's a lot of factors that go into things. Sometimes it's even us. Man. Sometimes we make bad judgments, and then when we do, we blame other people for it. You can't accept that you made this mistake or it's like,
that's why. That's why our complaints have no clout. Like even racism, if you think about it now, racism doesn't hold the same value as it used to because the word is thrown out there so often. Oh, you cut me off, you're a racist. What? Like people are dumbfounded half the time. Well, do you even know how the context of racism?
You don't want to cry wolf because the next time.
But that's where we're at right now. Everybody cries racism. Racism.
Everything doesn't matter what it is now. Especially this is why I go back to like when I tell people, like if you want to really get rid of racism, I go back to what's his name, Morgan Freeman in that interview. I forget the guy's name that interviewed him.
Yeah, on
the way exactly. Yeah, if you like. The way you get rid of racism, don't talk about it. Don't bring it up. The more you keep bringing about it up, the more
you give it power.
Projected issue. Exactly. You give it power. And that's the problem that my generation doesn't understand fully, and even especially the next generation that's in. They don't understand that because they're born right into it.
As soon as you stop respecting history and knowing where you came from, if you think the footprint starts from today and moving forward, you're in fucking bad steps, man. And that's the problem. They don't honor history, so therefore respect is non-existent. Respect history. Yeah, they want to make their own history. You can't like I talk to my kids all the time and I get so frustrated because you're trying, it's your job to lead them. You have no one's going to have their best interest like you. Like as much as I want Anzo's son to succeed, I can never want him to succeed as much as Anzo. Right? So why would Anzo give him bad advice? It's not because he's controlling him. And that's what they think. Let me live my life. What are you controlling me? You did what you did. Let me do what I want to do. Well, someday you're going to learn that it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Facts, that too.
And if you think you know it all and you want to keep pushing people away, these same people you're going to need one day and they're going to remember you.
Absolutely.
Facebook's a bitch now and all those fucking...
Facebook fucking controls your life. It knows when you're going to take a shit. It knows.
No, but what I'm saying is you can lose a job or not gain a job because of it.
Absolutely. Facebook and Twitter, they be trying to cancel people like crazy, man.
Yep.
Those fucking toxic sites. That's why when I have Twitter, I just go in there to post links and whatever. But I do not read that shit, man. I can't do it, man. It's just way too toxic.
I get you. Like I read. The thing is, I'll go in there and read it every once in a while sometimes.
Yeah.
Just to read the bullshit and just laugh at it for comedy's sake. That's all I do. Is like I don't like. I see through all that bullshit. It's like, come on.
People think Twitter is real life and shit. It's crazy.
Because
their second life?
Internet.
I wish I could be. I don't even tweet.
Mainly having
I don't tweet, so I don't know.
Life instead.
Yes,
all I know is you guys talk like it's the plague, but yet you're still a part of it. I don't understand.
I haven't really been too much. I post like once, like, oh, go Celtics, I put, or whatever the hell. I didn't put too much.
Yeah, like Celtics stand up after they lost.
No, it was before they lost.
I was cracking up. No, because I didn't see any comments, and I'm like, did they just get kicked out?
And it was a formality for this is going to be a fucking slaughter, but I got to rep my team, man.
It's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And the thing that go back to like to the racism and stuff like that, especially this one thing I don't get the most is like how people keep saying that, oh, for America, for example, for prime example, right? People keep saying, oh, America's racist, right? America's a racist country. No, there's a minority part of people in America that are racist, not the majority.
A large minority.
A large minority, exactly. There's there's like maybe 100, maybe a few 100,000, maybe even less than that, like even just 100,000 total.
But you see what's scary is that it's embedded behind closed doors. Like we don't even really know what's going on. Like now that when COVID came about, that's when you got a chance to see that a lot of these people are getting schooled at home, and they're being schooled hatred. They're being taught hate, resentment. I saw it on one of those Dateline things. I don't know if it's bullshit or not, but these people were real. I don't know if their actors are fucking good.
On all sides, man. On all sides, racism just like
yes, but
side.
like because of social media, it's in the forefront. At least back in the day with racism, you saw a show like Roots, or you saw a show that reminded you of the past, but it wasn't in your face every fucking day.
Right. Because they're using it for brainwashing.
Yeah, exactly. It becomes overwhelming. It becomes overwhelming to the point where...
and it's much more like predominant in the mainstream media, like news media outlets.
As much as you
really
condemn
predominantly there.
Yeah. As much as you condemn it, I mean, at least it's brought to the forefront and you see it
all the time. I mean,
yeah, but the thing is, they're weaponizing it.
That's the next.
It's weaponized
because it's doing exactly what they want to do. They
keep it separated.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's how people are controlled, by causing conflict, by dividing them. That's how people are controlled.
Right. And the one thing I want to add on to that, Basco, is it really stems back to the MK Ultra program. To be real about that, if you really go dive deep into that, into the MK Ultra program, it's in it everywhere.
That's a whole nother discussion, brother.
Right, but I'm saying that, but the brainwashing part of that stems from that, though, is what's induced.
But do you believe in like the circles are hypnotizing us and all that shit, and the Illuminati? I
believe the Illuminati and stuff do like that. I mean, but the circles,
they put the spirals on the news so it will hypnotize us. Those
are fucking conspiracies. I don't.
No, that's part of the MK Ultra shit. No, that's what they say.
A little bit too far. What were you gonna say, MSK?
It depends. Like, since everyone throws out racism nowadays, the actual issue never gets tackled. Like let's say if a guy's white and I'm black and he treats me bad, it could most likely have nothing to do with racism other than the fact that he just doesn't like me. Not because he's racist. What if he just doesn't like you as a person? And I think people have like kind of misconstrue what racism is. Like, I hate some white people, not because they're white. I just don't fucking like their personality. Like, I'm being honest, man. Most of my life, I got treated bad by most black people. That's because they have and from my area, most have pretty bad personalities though. Like, I'm just being honest,
Well, I think Roberto had.
Do you feel it's because of your complexion?
Not really. No. I think they have just bad personalities. Some people are just not good people. That's what we have to realize.
Well, you're right. You're right.
Like just dependent on their race. Some people are just not good people, though. They're just like, I don't know.
Entitled.
It's not even that. It's like the world doesn't hate you because you're black. If you really think if you're black or white and your life sucks, then do stuff to change it, though. There's a reason why in school they teach you about people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, people that, Alexander the Great in the fucking Roman ages and shit. There's a reason why they teach you about those guys, because people like them rise above the occasion and make things better. Like, if people are sitting out, or black people are sitting out there complaining about white people being racist, well, why not just make your life better and take their jobs then? Like, sitting around bitching about it's not going to do anything, And I get it. It might be hard, but a lot of things are hard, dude. It's hard getting a job nowadays. It's hard getting good education for kids. Everything is hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
But if you keep bitching and complaining about it,
than it is to get a gun nowadays.
Yeah, like if you keep bitching and complaining about it, nothing happens. Like, I could be outside right now saying, "Oh, white people, oh, what was me," and shit like that. But is that going to change anything? And that's what the media does this too. The media makes like minorities feel like they should be getting free shit, and also they're entitled horse shit they're fucking telling people. It's like, no, like, just because you're a minority doesn't mean you have certain things against you that makes your life harder. Everyone has most general people have hard lives though. But just because you're a minority doesn't amplify that. It's all about how you get past certain things, how you get past certain scenarios, how you overcome adversity. All the people you learn about in the past overcame adversity through much more harder things than we have to deal with. Way more harder, less technology, less people around, less resources. We have so much more resources nowadays to overcome our issues. But,
depends who you are.
It depends. Yeah, that's it. And then people have a weak mentality.
More resources, but it depends who you are. And I'm going to tackle that on my topic because you guys, both you and Andrea, talked about a lot of stuff that connects to what I'm going to bring up.
No problem. It's just more like, I just hate it when I see minority people bitching, complaining like 24/7. It's like, at a certain point, you got to make your life better for yourself. Yeah. X white person did this to you. Well, who cares? And that's another thing. A lot of what people go through in terms of like racism is super anecdotal too. Like, I can't take one white person treating me bad and saying all white people do this. That is so stupid. That is literally anecdotal. That's what it is.
I have a lot of strong black people in my life that they're mentors, and I have people that I watch on YouTube that are motivational, that help me out, they're doing their thing, man. They came up from nothing. They say the same thing, blame your surroundings. You can come out of it. You know
What's the saying?
mean?
It's it's a poker saying, like, don't play with the hands you're dealt with, make it better by getting more cards, something like that. It's a poker
Sometimes
saying.
You got to play with the hand that you're dealt with in life and deal with it.
Yeah.
But
you gotta make the most of your situation.
You gotta
make the most of your situation. It's like what Ra's al Ghul told Batman in Batman Begins. You make the most out of your surroundings. Yeah, like my life could be hard, but who makes my life better, me or other people? The only person that's gonna make your life better is you. And I get it. Like not every scenario is gonna be the same. I get it, but a majority of the situations are the same. It's most people just complaining and bitching about being a minority. It's like, okay, we gotta make a change. You can complain about it, it's still gonna be there, but if you actually take a step and try to change it, nothing really comes out of it, you know. And people let themselves get controlled by the media. They do, because why would someone like people are in political discussions? Now I'm not gonna Paul. This is just a general example. Like people will say they hate the media, but quote media shit. That makes no sense. If you know they're lying to you, why are you quoting what they're saying to you? They're literally lying to you. The media controls the left, and the left controls the media. So obviously they're lying to you. It's literally inbuilt in how that system works.
Control the left and right, though. That's
like that's just my thing on all that stuff. Like if you're a minority and you feel all this racism or white privilege, like even the average white person I know doesn't have white privilege. They work the same average job like all of us probably do. What privilege is in that? Doing basic minimum wage average jobs? Like that's white privilege? Then I must have white privilege then.
Nerman's like previous comment.
Which one? This one here? Or before that? Yeah,
the one where he's addressing MSK about the Capitol.
I don't know nothing about that. Capitol building. Wait. What about that Trump thing?
That's the January 6th thing. MSK.
Oh, okay. Do you think Capitol building being taken over was an example of disproportionate response by the police? This is just my personal opinion about this. That was just a buildup of every single thing we had to deal with in 2020 about the George Floyd thing, and everything just came in with like the whole election thing. Like, as an example of that, I don't know. It just depends. Like, nobody's being opposed. Like, the white people aren't opposing people, dude. Like, you think, like, people subconsciously think that, though. Is there any scenario I could really give you where I'm being opposed by white people? I probably couldn't give you one. There might be more white people that are above certain black people in jobs, but did they not work for those positions, though? Did they not put in the hard work for those positions, though?
Sometimes you gotta like I said, play the game, man. You know.
But in some situations, we are being opposed in certain things. In some situations,
could I give some examples of white privilege?
Yeah, you can, but just let me say this real quick. And this is where it comes into the absolutes, you know? Yeah. It's not always racism, and it's not always the other thing. There's always something in the middle. But go ahead, Roberto. Give them examples.
The extreme? I don't know. I grew up diverse. I had a lot of white friends growing up. I don't recall their parents ever giving them the 411 on how to behave with police.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's white privilege there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't care. Even a white kid growing up in the slums, he's not
told that you
told those same things. I'm sorry to say. Number two is that example of that guy, those two friends in that gun-carrying state, where they're walking with the same gun. The white guy's walking, the cops come, they have a discussion, they're asking him, why are you carrying the gun? He says, because I can. They say, have a nice day. The brother, they see him, they stop from a distance, they start barking commands at him over the megaphone, call for backup, they arrest him, take his gun away. That's white privilege. Because they automatically assume, well, unless you can tell me otherwise, that the black guy's going to shoot some people.
Yeah, and that's always being projected.
How many mass murders are by black people? How many mass murders in the U.S. are by black people?
Mass shootings. Yeah.
Mass shootings, sorry. Mass murders.
Yeah.
I think there was like 1, 2.
It's less than what white people do, actually.
The percentage of mass shootings and how many involve black people being the perpertrator, it's not even 1%.
Yeah, it's less than a percentage, and it's more.
So why? So why? Why tackle this guy to the floor, put a knee in the back of his head when he was no threat? He was no threat. He was less of a threat than the white guy because the white guy was walking in the middle of the street. The black guy was on the sidewalk.
And I asked this question, and I'll ask you guys too. Do you think if George Floyd was white, he would have died that day?
Say it again.
If George Floyd was white, do you think he would have died that day?
It depends, man. Like,
Depends, but
For me, it's hard to say, Anzo, because I've seen some white people fall victim to the cops as well.
Absolutely,
this is what I was saying to that.
Well, I mean,
that situation has probably happened, but the media never highlights those situations, though. That's the thing.
Exactly.
And
you took the words out of my mouth.
That thing too. Yeah. And if you take the exact same example that you use, Enzo,
apply to a Hispanic person.
No. What I'm saying is like apply everything exactly happened, and what George Floyd was on, including the drugs that he was on, multiple drugs, especially the fentanyl.
Yeah,
he was on methamphetamine, fentanyl, like fentanyl metabolites. He had THC in his system. He had a bunch of shit in his system. So if you take that exact same example, yeah, it would more than likely, that white guy in George Floyd's case would still probably die because he would still have those drugs induced in him. Anyway,
okay, so let me ask you this. Why is it that every time they have a murder like that where a cop does something to a black person, they always try to use the drugs? With Sandra Bland, they said he was on marijuana. But when you have the mass shootings, right? What do they say about the mass shooter? He was disturbed.
He could plead for insanity.
He was a troubled child.
And
those are the things to say. Now, I'm gonna agree. This is the media stuff. 100% it's the media stuff.
Right.
So it's what they're trying to do. But at the same time, that is a perfect example of white privilege. Because what you're doing is you're trying to discredit the man that you murdered, the woman that you murdered. You're just crediting them by saying they were on drugs. And listen, you and I, Roberto, we burn, we smoke. You guys know that each person has a different tolerance. So because he had those drugs in his systems, he could have been doing them for years and have built up such a tolerance to them that he had to have that much in his system to get high.
This is a scenario I would give you.
I'll say this about the George Floyd thing with the drugs about that. He had about over 4 times that lethal amount that would kill a person.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Well, actually, if you look at
but that's irrelevant. If you're saying if the cop didn't put his knee on his back, he might have died on the floor from overdose.
I'll say this about that.
There's a good chance.
That was too much of a long fucking time on his back in the fucking first place. No more than I would say no more fucking 2 minutes at the most. Maybe would be the most, but I would say not even a fucking.
Not when someone's in cuffs. When someone's in cuffs, there's no need for it. They're subdued.
And that's the problem I have with this fucking situation is when fucking Derek Chauvin stupidly listened to fucking George Floyd, to be asked to be put on the ground, and listen to George Floyd to be put on the ground, and that exacerbated everything going forward from there. He should have never fucking listened to George Floyd on that. Not that I'm putting not saying it's George's fault for that, but the problem is that Chauvin agreed to it, even though he already had him in cuffs in the fucking vehicle already. So that's why I get more mad about Chauvin on that part of it more than George Floyd's, because again, he was on the drugs. Which was even when he was already in the store before all that happening, even the cashier even stated that he noticed that he was on a substance. Whack. I've seen this multiple times, even working on my job, that where a few people are just whacked out, and I had to deal with them myself. But with the George Floyd thing, no, I give more fucking problem, more blame on Derek Chauvin for taking George Floyd out of the vehicle when he already had him handcuffed.
Exactly.
When he was kicking and screaming. That's what I have more of a problem with, because he fucking listened, which exacerbated the problem. Now,
No, go ahead. Finish what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna be like, well, what about this scenario? What if the races were switched? Well, what if it's a black guy doing it to a white guy? Do you think it would have blew up as bad?
They would project the black.
That black guy would have been in trouble.
Exactly.
The cop would have been in trouble.
Exactly. I was about to say they would project the black officer being more criminalizing. He's hurting a white guy. He's doing this to the white guy.
The guy still died though. Like the scenario would be the same though, because the guy still died. I think that's just it's not even just racist for that. That's just a horrible. That's just an example of police brutality. That guy just being a straight up piece of shit. He did deserve what he obviously got.
Okay. You see, and that's what I'm gonna say too, right? Again, I can't necessarily call white privilege on that one case, but you have to add them up. You know what I mean? More and more times it adds up, and then more times the police officer gets
the Trayvon Martin thing.
Right. Right.
Ugh.
And more times the person that does it gets off. This is the problem.
But that's more of a problem with the judicial system. That's more of a problem with that.
You are correct, but that's where a lot of the white privilege, I will say, comes in. I'm not going to sit here and say that's normal people, this and that, right? But when you talk about the court systems, when you talk about the police systems, those are the problems that are the biggest racist problems, and those are the things that have been issues with us. And I could tell you this, right? If Chauvin gets the maximum, they take away all his money and his pension and everything like that, because you can't just put him in jail. You got to take away his pension to where his family doesn't get any of that money, because a lot of these cops, they lose their job and they still get their pay. And then when that happens, when you mess up someone's pocket, things will change. I can guarantee you that it will change. And that part comes down to money. You know, these guys are not going to risk their money and their livelihood because they want to be racist and kill somebody. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. We can't always call racism, like you said, because it has no meaning anymore, because everybody is using the term
like a frisbee.
Right. You say something, oh, you're a racist. You say something, you're a racist, you know? Man, we have white people on the panel. We have all kinds of people on the panel. Look at our community. It's diverse.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we get along. And this is why I like YouTube, because this is real life. That shit that they're showing us on the media and shit, that's not real life.
It's false reality.
Superficial.
That's why they call it reality TV.
They want to show you from their biased point of view that, you know, involves other people. With the stuff that they show in the media, they show that to more biased people's perspective. So like if they say something that involves like racism or some bullshit like that, there's a good minority of people that actually believe what they're saying though, and that perpetuates their way of thinking at things, and that only amplifies them and gives them more ammo. But it's like, you know, I don't know. It just depends on how you look at all these things. Like, I mean, I agree with someone who said it earlier. Like, racism doesn't really have any weight to it, honestly. You call someone a racist, what does that mean? Like, if I go outside right now and I say I don't want to hang around with those black people, I mean, is that really going to get me in trouble? Because even in IRL, you go outside, you say that, most people, not being an asshole, mostly just kind of find that funny. Most people you even said to are going to find that funny. You're hanging with those black people, like, haha. Like, it's just most people just find that funny, though. It's literally just on the internet people find
that's why comedy is dying, because we live in such sensitive times.
Yeah,
where something was funny, now it's racist. Dude,
I tell people this: go to a group of black guys and tell them stop saying the N-word, and I'll see if you're actually alive tomorrow. I'm saying, go and do it. See what happens. Go to a bunch of, you know.
Well, you see, this is what I say about that. I say that N-word will never disappear until we stop saying it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Until we stop, we gotta be the ones to stop.
Well, we had a good show on that one.
Yeah, we gotta stop putting it in our music. We gotta be the ones to give the example, because how can you or me get mad at someone else for saying it when I'm sitting there calling Roberto, you know what I mean, a nigga. What's up, my nigga? What's up, my nigga? And just an example, my girl said it one time, you know what I mean? We were joking around playing, and she was like, nigga, please. And I was like, what the fuck did you say to me? You know what I mean? And I was like, no. I'm like, no, don't ever say that again. You know what I mean? And she was like, well, you and your son say it all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but me and my son are black and blah, blah, this and that, you know? So and
you realize it's not right, huh?
Right. And not only that,
you like notice the hypocritical words coming out of his right. God damn.
But not only that, I talked to my son and I was like, yo, you know, just whatever. And he was like, so he was like, me and my friends, they say it all the time. My white friends say it all the time. And that's the difference. Like, they're the generation, they don't have the same effect with that word that our generation.
Because they don't respect history.
Right.
Because Anzo and I grew up together, and I never said that word. And we hardly ever said that word. It was only a few from outside of our area that would come in and start talking like that, but we never said it.
My dad didn't even want me to say the word. My dad.
Like I guess the only bright side of that is there's someone who put it out there. I think it was on Twitter or some shit. Like the word only means as much as weight as you give it. So if we want to move past it having a negative turn, if you say it more of in a positive light, I could see that kind of being said. Like it only gets negative because you think of it as negative. If you think of it as like just a joke, then it'll become more of a light thing. I could see where people think that. Like, it's a fair argument. You know?
And you know what is even fair about it? Because I showed these guys the clip too. KRS-One broke down the word, the word nigger. And
the definition.
Basically, it means king.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what happens is now...
But it's Negro, not nigga.
No,
Negro.
It was nigga.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was Negro.
Spelled with one G.
Yeah.
That's right.
Spelled with one G, right?
So that was the white. It was the white man that changed it and made.
So I'm gonna go up to Anzo. Yo, Anzo. 1 G or 2, man. 1 G or 2, bro. You calling me king or you calling me what?
No, I'm just saying though, like those white people back in those days, they use it as an aggressive, like growling like a bear back then. They're like, "Arr!"
They threw it in there to cause confusion, and they're probably laughing. Look, they get mad at us when we call it. They call themselves. They're so foolish, you know. Like I can see them talking like that about us. You know, it doesn't make sense. I was so heated that topic. Like, how can't like I'm at the light and this kid pulls up beside me, jamming his fucking hip hop. You know, he's singing the lyrics and he says the word. He looks over and sees me and he just stops singing. I felt like saying, "Sing, man, sing! It's a fucking song." Exactly. What do you think? I'm gonna shoot you? Exactly. Come on, man. So like, they kind of bring it on themselves sometimes, right?
I can see that. I see that.
I understand why he's reacting like that, but it's ridiculous now.
And I understand the logic behind it. Like, it only has a negative meaning because we give it a negative meaning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has, but it was intended to be negative. It was intended to be negative, right?
But to be fair, narratives change and words, meanings change all the time. You know, it's like, I get why people say, well, if you're living in the past, it'll truly affect you. Like, that makes sense. Like, living in the past means you can't you can't move forward though. But like saying that word is, I mean, I don't really say that word ever. Like, I'll do that shit.
I used to say it because we were listening to West Coast hip hop. That's all they fucking say, right? But when my buddy told me, stop saying it to me, that's when it dawned on me, he has a point. Like, it is offensive, and some people are going to be offended, and you have to respect that.
Or your scenario, like, what if you, what if there's a dude just listen to a rap song, he likes the song, he said the word, like, I wouldn't care. You listen to a song, like, jam out. Have your
it doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother me.
Listen, it goes also it's cultural as well, right? Like David said in the chat, like in a lot of South American countries, they call people negrito and negrita, and it's not considered as a bad thing. And twice this year, well, Cavani, a soccer player who won an award in the Premier League, he tweeted back out and said, thank you, negrito, and he got banned and suspended, I think, 3 or 4 games plus a fine. And the person that he said it to took no offense of it at all because he knew where he's from in Uruguay, that they say that all the time. But he was still freaking fined and banned.
That's the world we live in, man. That's the world we live in.
Sensitive people, man.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It really is,
And the thing is, like, people dwell on the past, but they don't learn from it, and they keep weaponizing the past instead of like learning from it to move on.
Like, we're better than the past. Like, we've moved. Everything has progressed so much better. I mean, it's not perfect, but
to certain points. To a certain
point, yeah. But we're not them. We have to learn from their mistakes. We are not those people, though. No matter how much people keep saying we are, we're not them. You are. No. You did not live that life. You were not born in that time period. You did not go through what they went through. We are different people. We have to start setting different standards for how we're living. We live in a
100%, and that's where money plays in. Because the people with money don't want to see those people that are below making it on top.
That's the real issue.
When they do
the real issue right there.
That's what's happening. That's where the deprivation happens, right? If that was if it was truly that, the powers that be today will help those that don't have the power to be able to be the ones in the future to have that power. But they don't want that. That's why we have these classes. That's why we have in the United States. There's no equal education in certain places in the United States.
No, there isn't.
There
It's
isn't.
not, it's not across the board equal.
Exactly, right?
That's already a problem. Yeah,
and that's a huge problem.
It's
Public
because
school
these
systems
problems
just
never
like that
been
clip,
fixed.
just like that clip I saw today. You know, why should there be a federation to help you find a better school for your kid because the area that you're living in doesn't have one?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's disgusting. That's the system put against people in poverty areas.
Mm-hmm.
That's keeping people and making it more difficult. So yeah, when you said earlier, okay, you know, everybody has the equal, but don't look at your scenario. The people that come out of it, holy shit, good for them. But you know, in today's reality, there's people with no money, bad health insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't afford to get to university or college unless they're good in a sport.
Mm-hmm.
Those are facts.
Mm-hmm.
But why? Right? It's sad. The system's broken. The system's broken. Because
I agree with you 100%.
Because with all the money there is, they're putting it in wrong things where they should be putting it within the country, within the system for the citizens in order for them to be able to succeed, not keep them divided.
Facts. 100%. And it's okay. And when it comes to that, when it comes to like when we're talking, it's not just black people too. It's a lot of black people.
Yeah, people gotta understand it's not just black people that go through these things. Hispanic people go through a ton of bullshit and no one highlights it. Asian people go through a ton of bullshit. No one talks about them. It's always black. Like, oh, woe is me, horse shit that they're trying to spout. It's not everyone.
It's been so long. It's been so long. You hear about that Black Wall Street?
Wait.
No.
Back in 1951, the thing that LeBron is doing, they burned down a whole fucking town.
Yeah, Tulsa.
Unmarked graves.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? I mean, this shit, the only reason I don't have a problem with it is because it's been going on for too long. And just like the Armenians, they're looking for people to just acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. Give people what's rightfully theirs, and we all move on in harmony. There's no greed. There's no entitlement. We don't think we're entitled. We just want to be treated like everybody else. And we're fucking tired. And we're going to scream and complain until some change happens, because it isn't happening. Now it's just closed doors, muffled. It's still fucking happening. The topic we talked about last week, we talked about that guy who was murdered 2 years ago. We're only finding out about it now. How many hundred more like that?
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Is Danny waking up now, Mama Bear?
So Gaishka's topic had to go in a little bit. So Gaishka, what'd you have to get off your chest, brother?
Well, maybe in the States you don't know what happened here in Canada, but in Kamloops, it's a place in British Columbia, they found an unmarked grave. Over 250 bodies of Indigenous children were found.
Oh,
and this was I don't know, for some reason this really pissed me off, because these were schools that were held by the Catholic Church in order to change and condition the kids into Christianity, and there was a lot of sexual molestation, there was a lot of abuse, there was a lot of people that spoke about this, and we're talking about, you know, equal rights and stuff like that, and we forget the natives that lived here that were stripped from that completely. And to this day, they're stuck in pieces of land that the government said you can have this. Mm-hmm. And some of them don't have even clean water, proper housing,
running water.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Yeah. No, you finish up. I'll say what.
And you know, and their schools, you know, are in shambles in certain areas. I can't believe in today's world that governments here in the United States and in Canada, they can't make things right. And it's not a question of that they can't. They choose not to. Mm-hmm. So now the premier has asked the Pope that he should come out and apologize, because it was the Catholic Church that did this, right? So now they have this whole movement now, the teachers and all that, they're coming out with orange shirts, and they're saying every child lives matter, which even pisses me off even more.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Because all that is a fucking gimmick. It's a gimmick. Because just like soccer players in Europe today, they're all deciding to stop kneeling because they feel that it does nothing. What does something is action, not words, not t-shirts, not these are all schemes and people making money off these things. Action is what really needs to be done. And for the longest time, you know, indigenous people have been neglected, and it sucks because I remember myself, man, when the whole O.O.C crisis happened. Remember that? And at that time, my dad smoked, and he used to buy his smokes on the Kaganawagi Reserve.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, "Oh, Dad," because I was reading everything that the media said, right? And I'm like, "Dad, you shouldn't go. You shouldn't go." And he goes, "Why?" Because of what the news tells you. And I'm like, "Yeah, you know, they don't like white people and this and that." And he goes, my dad's like, "You know what? Shut your mouth. Get in the car." Just like that. Freaking drove, right? You know, they had people like, it was almost like you're going into a country during those times. You know, they're armed guards there.
Right at the border. Right at their border. Yeah.
My dad drives right in. The guy goes, "Hey, Jesus, how are you?" "Good." And he goes, "Oh, you're going to get some Stokes?" And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." He's like, "Oh, this is my son. Oh, hi." And I was like, freaked out. That was my first lesson to never believe shit in the media.
And you know what the worst thing about it? And I always say this too, right? Whatever, Roberto.
I just saw something Geisgar talked about earlier.
Oh, okay. And I was gonna say this. If you want to talk about people who are more oppressed than Black people, those Inuits and First Nation people, they get it 10 times worse than we will ever get it. 10 times worse. They get nothing.
It's like, imagine this. Someone comes into your house, grabs you and says, "No, you can't live here anymore. You're up there in freaking this land. This land here. Here you go."
And then they tried to take the land from them. You know what I mean?
Because they want to build a
golf course. Wasn't it a golf course?
One place. No. Yes, something about a golf course. I know something had to do with a golf course. Yes, it was the O.O.C crisis. Yeah.
They wanted to fucking take their land so that they could build a fucking golf course. And the O.O.C, the First Nations, they were not having it. They had their borders locked. Well, not really border, but you know what
they blockade the the roads and they were armed, man. The natives were armed.
They're fucking doing the same thing, right? A fucking blast.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was exactly that, Anzo. It was to extend an existing golf course onto Mohawk land. Yeah,
ridiculous.
And it's just it just pisses me off because, you know, I am Catholic, but I never liked the church, and my mother never liked the church. My mother always used to tell me, you know, you don't need to go to no church in order to feel religious.
The worship, absolutely.
Yeah, the worship. You don't have to.
I just want to say this: Pope Francis is a fucking satanic piece of shit. He's not a freaking good person, really.
You know what? I trust none of those fuckers, man. Yeah, you know how many women have been raped, how many children have been molested, and you know, men as well. It's ridiculous. You've seen all this shit coming out, and the church apologizing and this and trying to make it right. Fuck off, man. You know what? The church is the number. The Catholic Church is the number one criminals in the history of mankind.
Facts.
Hence why we have DC in this country, in America.
Right? It's unbelievable.
And it's trying to become a state. Unbelievable.
Who's this? Sorry? The District of Columbia?
Yep.
Really?
It wants to become its own separate state?
Yep.
Well, Texas wants to become its own country.
Well, no. The thing is, with District of Columbia for Washington, D.C., that's a huge issue because then the Vatican is totally in control. Totally in control. So that's bad. That's bad for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, man.
Because that becomes a state, then Puerto Rico becomes a state too, and that screws over Puerto Rico in the end too.
Because isn't Puerto Rico a state right now?
No, it's still its own sovereign, but it's protected by the U.S. because it's considered a territory, not a state.
Okay.
That's
and
why.
the District of Columbia, the same thing. It's a territory.
That's why it's the federal capital of the country. And if it becomes a state, well, that's a problem because it will cause problems with the rest of the states worse than anything can happen, and that can actually end up being led to a civil war, if anything. Like if it worse comes to shove, like it would have come to a civil war at that point.
To me, though, it seems like that's what they want. You know what I mean? Like they want a civil war. I
predicted this. It would either become another revolutionary war again or a civil war.
War brings money. You can't deny that, man. War brings money.
Not within its own country, though.
No, I know.
No.
But
well, not within its own country, though. But if it's a revolution, there will be big change, and there will be change made for the better. But if it's a civil war, well, guess what? You got China coming right in.
China and your Ruskies, man. What are you talking about?
Not only just China, North Korea.
Oh, but North Korea practically owns everything anyways. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, they own everything, man. Hold on.
I mean, China owns everything.
China's been buying out houses and stuff.
China owns half the world, man.
Literally.
I know they own Jamaica. Like 80% of Jamaica, they own.
Oh my gosh, man.
Sad.
What, is it sad? Or are they fucking smart?
No, it's sad that the people of that country don't own majority of their property. That's sad. You know?
That's why they're
fucking imagine your town in Spain or wherever you're from. Somebody comes and buys all the property and evicts all of you.
Well, that's what my native people over there, that's what the kingdom, the Spanish kingdom tried to do, right?
They tried.
And, well, we had to have our own sovereign territory, right? Autonomous state. That's what it is, right? But that didn't work. But, you know, my people still, that's why my name's so fucked up, because it's Basque. And the Basque people were freaking fishermen. They came to America way before Christopher Columbus. You know, a lot of them came to the new lands and never went back. They stayed with the natives. They said, "Ooh, I got some native booty. I ain't going back to that screaming white back home."
And that's why there's a lot of mixed.
That's Geisgar with 2 eyes.
They got that wacky tobacco. I ain't going nowhere.
But it's crazy because when my wife works at the DMV, right, and when she was working in at the Cary Square, she saw a lot of people with the same last name as mine come, and when they would come, they were all Filipino.
Oh
yeah, because there was a lot of ancestors of derived from my family that traveled to the Philippines, and they stayed there. So yeah, man, it was crazy. When I joined that Facebook group, I was like, shit, I'm the only white guy here. They're all Filipino. I'm like, holy, ¿cómo está acá? Mabute. Oh, what the fuck?
Really, MSK? You don't trust chopstick eaters trying to get me canceled, bro?
All they do is eat rice. Rice balls are good, man.
You can't say anything about Asian people anymore. They'll cancel you for that shit.
Bro, they rap when they talk, bro. They spit more bars than Drake. Holy shit. And I know you guys in Canada, you guys love Drake. He's like your fucking god over there in terms of music.
I wouldn't say that.
You guys worship Drake. I know Enzo probably has a Drake shrine outside his house right now.
I actually drove by his house in Toronto. The one that we're having constructing, the fucking thing is huge, man.
Now, just because I have Drake's song in the intro doesn't necessarily mean
you guys support the Raptors up there in Canada too, so it's like
it's our only freaking basketball team. What choice do we have?
Yeah. You chose the wrong team, man. Well, at least Enzo chose the Spurs, So
wait, hold on.
We lost
Didn't the Lakers lose last night?
Yeah,
they're one game away from being eliminated.
Okay,
that's very true.
You guys are gone. Without the brow, you're gone.
You know, hey, there's miracles. I could be getting laid right after the stream, so any miracle could happen right after the stream. You never know.
We all know that's definitely a miracle.
I guess both you and the Lakers are losing then. Sorry, MSK. I don't know what your night's like, but the Lakers are gonna lose, man.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I hope so.
No.
I hope so. Next topic is going to be with Andrea. He had a topic. I sent you guys the link.
Because I also tied in with the white privilege thing, like kind of thing too. It goes with the BLM that's been going on. Yeah, ever since like that goes back to, and like I was just I told Enzo like in a private message about it, that's why I brought it up, is because the co-founder, she was like investigated upon like and exposed for like all the millions that she made. All she did, instead of like using it and give it to families and stuff, spent out on houses, which did nothing for the black community, what they were raising all the money for. And all
I was saying that all the time.
Yeah. And like, and then the reason it ties into white privilege is because they keep projecting that too within the organization. And it's been found out to be a scam the whole time.
Well,
didn't we say that shit, Anzo?
Absolutely. Yep. We were talking about that the other day. And we're saying, and we did say that, you know, at the end of the day, what have they really done? You know?
Talk about BLM.
Exactly.
That's a joke of an organization. The fact that people even back those people, that's a joke of an organization. And
I mean, it had good intentions.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
I remember when it initially came, it had good intentions, but the only reason why it got hyped was because it had the word black in it. Imagine if that shit said all lives matter. No one give a fuck about that shit. That's a joke.
And the thing is, people gave a fuck about the all lives matter because it was like space. It was, there was misinterpreting saying like black lives are not included in that, which you know, but I mean, yeah, if you want to like go the Black Lives Matter, okay, there's different ways you can go about that. Which ones? You know, you're talking about the abortions, you're talking about black police officers, you're talking about, you know, the gangs, you know, and then with the All Lives Matter thing, like people like again, like they misconstrue it as like that black, like, you know, how black people don't feel included in that. That becomes an issue.
Well, that's the thing. The All Lives Matter came out because, you know, it's like, oh, well, people are saying Black Lives Matter, but All Lives Matter. And that wasn't the message that people were trying to portray with the Black Lives Matter. And when Black Lives Matter first came out, yes, it was, the intentions were the intentions were good, you know, but like everything else, even the Me Too, the intentions were good, but they get corrupted.
They got hijacked. Exactly.
Yep, they get corrupted. Once you start putting money into it, money changes shit, bro. Money can buy you affiliations to, you know, certain type of things and this and that, or we're going to pay you off to do this and that. And if you don't have any integrity, then you know what's going to happen, right? You're going to take that money. And that's exactly what happened with it.
Exactly.
You know, because
I'm mad you're okay. I just fucking around with you.
Because now if you, like you said, you know, they were talking about, it was a album preacher I was watching, and they had a little comment, and it was about a year ago, but they were talking about the rapper that shot Amber in her foot, right? The Amber chick. Oh no, not Amber chick. Fuck, I can't remember her name. Someone in the chat will tell me her name.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of her name.
Yeah, right.
I heard it recently also.
Right. So what they did was they tried to, before she even said anything, like she was like, no, she's not going to snitch or anything like that. But then they tried to bring her down, and that's how the information came out, because she said it, right? And it's like, well, if we do care about Black lives and Black Lives Matter, then we got to care about all types of shit, not just white people killing black people, but black people killing black people. You know what I mean? And it has to be like that. If not, then your organization is basically one-sided. You know what I mean? And then, like you said in the thing, I sent the article to these guys, and it's like one of the co-founders, he left because it's like they weren't putting no money into the schools. You know what I mean? You get all this money, should be putting it into schools, trying to get people a better education, and they weren't doing that. So It's like you said, the money was going to themselves, and
and that's why she bought 2.4 million worth of houses, 4 houses. 2 in LA basically,
something,
and 2 others, and one in Alabama or Georgia, and another one somewhere else.
Someone told me what was it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh no, it was something my brother said back on a stream when he was there. When it's not stereotyping. It's like when black people get money, they start acting like Uncle Ruckus and shit.
I don't watch Boondocks, but I know who Uncle Ruckus is.
Yeah. Like it's always a song like blows my mind. Like some black people get all this power and shit, and then they start acting like the same person that they grew up hating. That's just how this fucking thing works, man. It's all a spiral. Like they said in that one movie that came out. Shit. That shit's all just gonna go like this.
Well, that's just it. When you get money, it shows who your real character is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now you don't give a fuck. You don't have to pretend you got everything you need, so you can be who you really are. And that's a big issue because once you get money, if you're an asshole, you're gonna be an asshole with money, and you're gonna take that to another level.
Mm-hmm. Especially you can get corrupted by the money too. That's why money is.
And I can't trust evil. What the hell? Oh, I can't trust an organization that promotes eating chicken and watermelon. You know what I mean? I can promote that shit.
Bro. You see, that's how I know you ain't black, bro. We love our fucking fried chicken and watermelon.
I like fried chicken, dude. I ate fried chicken last night. It was bomb as hell.
Yeah, I saw you. You were on the stream eating fried chicken.
Like fried chicken.
Okay, right to the bone, like a
hell yeah, dude.
Brother.
Bro, the night I was supposed to go on Geishka's stream, he was texting me and he's like, I know what happened. This guy passed out. You know what I mean? Damn right. I went to KFC. I bought a bucket of chicken. Like fucking 6-7 pieces of some fried chicken and french fries and passed the fuck out.
I need to get some Wingstop. I need to get some chicken. I don't even care, dude. I like chicken, man. Chicken's so good. My God. I don't like watermelon. Right. Watermelon's disgusting.
Right. I don't like watermelon either.
That was nasty, dude. Oh my God.
What?
Yeah, watermelon's disgusting, bro.
What? I like watermelon.
I agree.
Watermelon tastes like dog shit.
Oh my God.
You eat watermelon, you probably don't get girls.
Okay, this is another topic we gotta get done after the BLM because this is some blasphemy.
If anything tastes like shit, it's KFC.
Oh my God!
Thank you,
man.
KFC is fucking. It's not the same when I was a kid. I used to eat KFC when I was a kid, and I'd be like, "Oh man, I can't wait for next Tuesday." I eat it now. By the second piece,
disgusting, right?
No,
it's trash.
I'm a running back now. Fucking going to the bathroom. Get out the way! Get out the way! Get out the way!
It makes you go to the bathroom worse than fucking Taco Bell
does. Worse than Chinese food. Sorry to say.
Oh shit! You're eating the wrong Chinese food, man.
No, Chinese food just makes me go like I can't hold it long. I eat Chinese food, I'm going 10 minutes later.
So it's rent-a food.
Well, if that's what you call Cam Shing.
Oh shit! I support the movement, but not the organization. Yeah, exactly. And that's what most of us are saying. We support the movement. We understand what it was supposed to be, but like everything else, it ends up changing. You know what I mean?
Like even on my Facebook, when the George Floyd thing happened, and then all of a sudden the BLM started, ramping up and going crazy. I was putting BLM on my deal, I was posting on my Facebook, but I wasn't doing it for the organization. I was doing it because of the cause,
absolutely,
for the ones that have been wrong.
Actually, I had a friend of mine that actually said why I didn't do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says, hey, why come you didn't put the BLM thing? I'm like, because I do it every fucking day.
You know what I mean?
That's what I said.
Fuck, bro, to be
honest, I do it every day.
I don't even think I did it. They had the little blackout thing where you have to put the black. I didn't put that shit up there. I'm like, I'm fucking black. I don't need to put that up there. I know where the fuck I came from.
I do it every day.
Yeah,
I'll say this 100%. About the BLM. I remember, it was several months ago, from last year. There was some people that were actually doing a BLM right in front of our restaurant of Carl's Jr. But they were doing towards the sidewalk a bit, but it was still kind of in front of our store. I was like, what the hell's going on? And I was like, oh shit. I told my coworker, I was like, hey, there's some BLM shit going on. And I was like, oh, but they weren't doing anything rather. They were just protesting, showing the posters, all that. And it wasn't causing a problem. And then they had some on the other side of the sidewalk and they had some on the other side. And they went somewhere else. They kept doing their thing. I didn't see them, destroying anything or nothing like that. But they were just protesting,
That goes back to the media. Like I said many times on this channel when we speak about this, that goes back to the media. They were just focusing on those few incidences where riots were breaking up and things were happening. But there were so many more peaceful demonstrations out there where you saw people of so many different colors protesting together peacefully. Did you see that in the freaking news? No, you saw the selective few that were going and looting and taking, opportunity of a chance to do.
Now, the one thing that the media did portray is like when they had that one burning, like that building burning in the background, and then that one stupid freaking woman said, "Oh, that was just a peaceful protest." In the back when you have a fucking burning building, like, no, that's not peaceful, idiot. That's a fucking riot. There's a difference between a fucking riot and a peaceful protest. You saying that in a background with a burning building is a peaceful protest, you should lose your job. I'm sorry, but no, you shouldn't even be a reporter doing that.
Absolutely.
I forgot what that woman, I forgot her name, whoever it was, but idiot on that. But yeah, there was majority of them were peaceful protests. But the ones that were the riots, there was the ones that, the media exacerbated them.
Sorry about that. Ninja sent a $2 super chat. KFC is great. Best mashed potatoes around.
Ninja's in the States, right?
Yeah, we don't have the mashed potatoes over here, man.
We got poutine.
Yeah, we got
Ninja like KFC up here sucks.
I don't like the mashed potatoes.
We don't even get fucking Popeye chicken because it won't translate it. Fucking bitches.
Yeah.
Popeyes
is better.
Yeah, Popeyes is good.
They're spicy.
Yeah, I had Popeyes in New York.
Really?
That shit was the bomb.
Yeah,
that was the bomb. Yeah. Oh my god. I ate that shit with no fries, no biscuit, no nothing. First time I just ate chicken. The pieces were massive. And they were fucking tasty, man. Wow.
Well, their biscuits are fucking fire.
Yeah, they're crazy.
I tell you that, man.
Those hard bricks.
You call biscuits? No, when you get fresh ones, unless you're getting fresh ones,
when you get fresh ones, yeah, man.
They're good. They're nice, fluffy.
Oh man,
how they're supposed to be. You get ones that are like a brick, you might as well fucking throw it at a fucking person when you get hit a motherfucker.
No, remember when Dragon Ball GT when Goku tried to eat the 4-star Dragon Ball? Just do it like that. Just try to swallow it down as fast as you can.
Oh, we know that you're a good swallower then, probably.
Yeah, dude, I've been
so many jokes right now. Oh boy,
I be swallowing everything. Oh
that's right.
Like right when I go to Popeyes, a bunch of old black ladies always hit on me.
You swallowing all three of Dr. Evil's nuts in your mouth, MSK.
Oh my god,
I just saw MSK the Pelican.
I'm MSK the cum guzzler.
One thing I will say before we move on to the next topic is when we had the protest here in Montreal, I went and I videotaped it, and I was like, "This is how you protest: no violence, no looting, no nothing."
Peaceful.
You know what I mean?
Civil disobedience.
Absolutely. If you're gonna protest and you're gonna make your point, you have to do it in a civilized way, because once you do the rioting and stuff like that, you take away from everything else that was supposed to happen. Everything else, because that's all they'll ever talk about.
That's why the riots got brought up the most, because it was making the protests bad. It was making it having a bad image. That's why they focused on the riots instead.
Absolutely, 100%. So now, Roberto, what do you got to get off your chest, brother?
I don't know. I just saw something in the chat that just grabbed my attention.
Which was?
The last chat.
This one here?
Yes, sir.
You guys are assholes. What the fuck? You see,
hold on.
You starting that same shit over again, right?
You know this guy?
Yeah, he's been acting foolish in a couple of chats. Went off on JJ.
Every time.
Your icon gets me every time. Okay, talking about that.
I think he's talking about the hunger thing, because we're talking about food and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
I was watching him all chat. He wasn't.
So was I.
Okay. I got you. No problem.
You see how easily we're distracted? Gangsters up in here, yeah.
The motherfucker said what?
You know,
asshole.
My bad, brother.
Because he has to drive he has to drive 2 hours to get some KFC. Yeah, we have to drive 2 hours to get some Popeyes if you want.
Yeah, had to drive all the way to Ottawa to get my daughter some Popeyes.
But
for her birthday.
I don't think the Popeyes in Ottawa was that good, though.
It wasn't, but I'm not driving to Toronto.
Okay.
You know what I mean? 1 hour or 6. You're getting 1 hour Popeyes.
Matt would like us driving to Toronto.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
As soon as you guys take that force field down, preventing you from leaving or people coming in,
Seriously.
Or is it still like that?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I think they're lightening it up soon. That's what Commodore Ty was telling me. So.
Us is good.
Did you hear Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Monday?
Restaurants are open, baby.
Gym's open.
Yep.
We're opening up in Cali like in June 15th.
Next week? Yeah, next week, right?
Next week.
Restaurants were already open.
No, they're open.
The
the terraces are open. Now you can sit down and eat.
Yeah, people have been doing that since this weekend. I've been going downtown. People sitting in terraces eating.
Yeah, terraces, but no, I'm talking about in the restaurant.
Okay, so you can go
now.
in the restaurant.
Starting Monday, you could eat in, dine in. That's it. That's it. Dine in.
I'm gonna go check out my boy.
That means I can start taking girls out, to the restaurants now.
You mean boys out?
Oh, you mean what the hell? Start taking the hot ladies out. Start whining and dining them now.
Roberto, what you got, brother?
Honestly, I didn't have much fire. I was like, fucking can't believe nothing's really bothering me much today, but
that's good, man. Not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. There's only 13 minutes left in the show that I'm coming with a blank. But my shit is, what was it?
That hit.
Fuck, I guess it ain't that important. It ain't that important. Hold on. Give me a second to gather my thoughts. I fucking had it.
I was just gonna play that hit on Evans.
Which one?
The hockey hit at the end of the game today.
That was fucked up. That's if that doesn't have some major repercussions.
Oh yeah, man.
I can't believe I'll say it, but I'll fucking give up on hockey.
That's ridiculous.
I didn't see it because I was.
It's fucking murder. Because that was Geskar's reaction in the beginning of the show. I saw him, and then he disappeared. I'm like, what happened? What did he do? Did the Habs lose? Because I know he's watching the game. He came back and didn't say nothing. Then I go look in the chat. Bro, wait till you see what happens to Evans. I'm like, okay, I gotta fucking see what happened to Evans. I went and looked. Oh my God, that's murder. That's murder.
At the end of the game, too.
He skated the fucking length of the ice. They said, they did a little thing that hockey is the impact in hockey is almost twice or 3 times as hard than football.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the speeds they hit on ice.
Yeah.
If you see this hit, Onzo, you say the guy that got hit is dead.
Really?
See if you can put it up. See if you can put it up.
It's on Facebook. It's on Facebook.
Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, find it for me and put it up.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything to put in while he does that?
Well, what I wanted to bitch about was we went to buy some fucking furniture. And the woman was so helpful. She was fucking actually very persistent. She did a good job, but she was like very eager to make the sale. And I figured, because of COVID, it's slow. But okay, whatever. We'll get that sale for you because we really need a fucking bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we find a bed after walking around the store for an hour. We sit down. We want it. There's no, is it on sale? Blah, blah, blah. We want it. Great. She does all the shit. I could have it delivered sometime around September. So what are we now? Are we fucking not May?
Yeah.
We want a bed now. Why would I want a bed in September? So, my wife lost it. Fuck that. We're not buying a bed in fucking September. Are you kidding me? And the woman's like, well, no matter where you go, it's going to be the same thing. And she said it with like a little shit face, like an attitude.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what, babe? She's probably right. No, she isn't. You remember we went to Struck Tube and I go, but Struck Tube is fucking shit.
Mm-hmm. That is.
No one's buying that shit.
No.
That's why they have it. You go to any premium, not even high-end, premium furniture store, they're making you wait 5 to 6 months. So I said to the woman, listen, when you guys get it in 5 or 6 months, I might be a little low on cash. Do you think you could give me this bed for like 5 or 6 months and I'll pay you then? She starts laughing. I said, I'm laughing the same way. Let's go. Are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hold my money for 6, 7 months. What, you giving me interest on there?
Mm-hmm.
You're selling products you don't even fucking have.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Isn't that some kind of fraud?
Yep.
That's false marketing.
Yeah, the same thing.
And not only that,
coworker,
when I bought my washer and dryer, We waited almost fucking 9 months. This was the first COVID lockdown. They told us it would be here in 3 months. Then it was an extra 2 months. Then it was another extra 3 months. And it was happening everywhere.
Have you tried Wayfair?
Wayfair is the worst, also. You know Wayfair is China? Sorry, not to bash Chinese or nothing. But you know where their furniture comes from?
You're better off going to IKEA.
Yeah. I had to hire someone to build a table. That came from Wayfair.
I got my couch from Wayfair. It's fine.
Yeah, because China has shares in fucking Wayfair. A lot of shares. They own majority of it. Same thing with Nike. AMC.
I see the reviews on Wayfair. I say, not me, Jog. Not me. I'm glad you didn't get no bad fucking shit happen to you, but...
Bro, I got a free couch. I brought my couch, right? It's sectional. And the one I brought had a rip in it, right? Like little rip on the side, not even huge.
I thought you said your couch is sexual for a minute.
I thought
that's what he's getting rid of it.
I thought he meant like a casting couch. I was like, what?
That's coming. That's coming. But
I didn't know that term, MSK, that was actually a thing. So I got this black couch and delivered into my office. So when my employees come in and we talk, they sit down, and one of the guys who I've worked for like over 10 years with comes in and goes, "When did you get the casting couch?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I Googled that shit after he came in. I'm like, and I walk out of my office. I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" I had no idea that was a thing. Can't look at my couch the same way in my office anymore.
Me neither.
Well, yeah. So, anyways, I got mine, right, and it had a little rip on the side, like small little square rip. So I called them up and I'm like, "Hey, the couch has a rip in it, whatever, blah blah." They said, "Okay, no problem. We'll replace it." So I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So when they came, they brought a brand new couch, and the guys left. So I'm like, So I called them up and I'm like, "You guys didn't take the old couch?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, just dispose of it or give it to charity." What? Charity? I'm selling that shit. So I have a fucking brand new sectional couch in my son's room, just laying there. So,
well, there is some pros to COVID too. Like I got a free fireplace.
Yeah, that's a
they took so long to deliver it, and it was stuck at fucking Pure Later in Lachine, which has a rating on Google of 2.
Oh, it's terrible there, man.
It's the worst ever.
I've been there a bunch of times.
Yeah, I went there and I threatened them. Literally, they threw me out. I lost it. I was there on 2-3 occasions, 6 a.m.
Which
I was there 3-4 hours. The one in Lachine, fuck.
What store?
No, it's not a store. It's a Pure Later.
Okay, Pure Later.
The warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
They took so long. We finally called Costco. They apologized. It's not even Costco's fault. It's Pure Later. And Costco refunded us. So I'm coming home one day. I see this white fucking truck in front of my house. I start pulling up behind it. The guy got all sketched out, took a box out, left it against my tree, and took off. I'm looking at the box is fucking as big as my tree, man. I'm like, huh? Why would they leave that there? And I'm like, is that the fireplace? I looked around. I called my wife, babe, help me bring this in the house quick. Brought it in, boom. Free fireplace now.
Yeah.
We were going to buy another one because they fucked up the original order.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up getting it. Yeah, we got it for free.
Cool.
Got a lot of shit for free during COVID, especially offering buying off of Facebook Market.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get anything off of Facebook.
Not Facebook Market, off of Facebook itself, sorry. Oh, okay. The ads on Facebook, the power bands. Back in the training day, you couldn't find weights anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we ordered power bands. My wife did, at least. And I told her, did they have a phone number when you ordered from there? No. I go, we got ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
Call your credit card company, cancel. 2 days after we canceled, the package showed up. Then 3 days after that, another package showed up. The same fucking bands.
Yeah, but you do have to be careful because I ordered clippers off of there and I never got them, so I got my money back and I never got those.
You got to be very careful on Facebook. I won't argue with you there, Anzo, but sometimes, that's why it's safe to order with your credit card because you're protected.
Absolutely.
And sometimes these companies, they just don't, they're fly-by-night operations. They don't really organize, and they end up losing heart by sending, 2 free products.
Because what happened was I ordered the clippers, and then it brought you to the website and everything.
Is that shiny gold one that cuts like really sharp?
Yeah.
They almost got me too, dog.
Yeah, the gold one. And then I went back to the site 2 weeks later and the site was gone. The website was gone.
Now, shouldn't Facebook be held liable for that, man?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, because it's false.
It's on their fucking platform. It's on their platform.
Right.
100%.
There's like so many legal terms I could probably mention of how bad that is right now. Like, it's ridiculous. They can get big trouble for that. Big fine.
Let's see this hit, dog.
All right, so this, for people that don't follow hockey much, so it's the end of the game. Montreal's up 4-3. So what the other
minute 2 left.
So what the other team does is they remove their goalie to add an extra attacker, right? Mm-hmm. So right now the player is chasing the puck because he's all alone going in.
Like the tripping on purpose, he ended up fucking falling on his ass instead. Like he tripped instead. I was like, fucking. And the thing that the fucked up part was, I got called out for it. I got put in the fucking box for a minute. I told the fucking ref and I told my coach, I was like, dude, hey. He tried sticking me like in between my fucking my blades, my roller blades and shit like that. He tried fucking sticking me like in between. He fell, and the ref called me out, and I told my freaking coach, I was like, what the hell, dude? Like, why did I get taken out? My dad was pissed too. My dad chewed the fuck out of that fucking referee badly.
What the hell is that? Montreal or Milwaukee?
Yeah, no, it's not Milwaukee. It's
Come on, man, you're Canadian.
But I mean, I've been to games where I've seen like players get fucking hit too, but I never seen someone get hit that hard. But I never been hit when I played hockey when I was younger.
I played ice hockey, and the 2 screws that go right here to adjust your helmet.
Yeah.
Roberto? My helmet cracked. Those 2 from the impact on my head. The helmet cracked where those screws were. I don't remember. All I remember is skating towards the corner. I don't remember the rest.
Damn.
And I can tell you is the sensitivity to light, the nausea, the dizziness, and it was never the same after that.
Absolutely.
Well, what's scary is because the game is nowhere near what it used to be. 20 years ago, that would be considered a good hit. Now this game, it's come so far with the awareness of concussions and mental issues and depression, like you said, lights, all of those things, all of the effects of brain trauma, that a hit like that should be used to fucking set a mark.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares if it's the playoffs? Who cares if he's their best player? You have to fucking use your head, man. I'm telling you, Anzo, I played hockey for a very long time. I suffered my first concussion when I was... It's so bad I can't remember. No, I think I was 4 or 5 years old. Mm-hmm. I had my first concussion, and when we played hockey back then, it was a no-no for your coach to help you off the ice. Mm. And I remember getting up, not really knowing where my bench was, but just knowing that I had to get over to the other side of the ice before my coach came and got me, and I get humiliated. And sure enough, on the bench, my vision started to clear up. But, fuck, when I got hit into those boards, man, it was like, where did everybody go? It was fucking blacked out. I felt like I was looking around, but it was blacked out. All the lights were off.
You couldn't see nothing.
Nothing. I couldn't see nothing. It was pure darkness. And then all of a sudden, it's like when you rub your eyes too much and your eyesight starts coming back. Exactly. And it was like, holy fuck. If that happened now, I don't think they would let me play for months.
Yep. Yeah, probably not. For real.
I finished that game.
And I know for me, because I had a concussion one time, man, and I think that's the reason why I get the migraines that I get, man, because when you fuck your head up like that, like I hit my head, I was riding my bike and I fell, bust my head. I do not remember how I got home. I just remember riding my bike and it happening, and then sitting back on my steps. It's like you just lost a piece of time. You know what I mean? I just remember sitting on my steps, and now I'm remembering what happened. But from that situation, from that time the accident happened, I have no idea. I thought it happened in someplace else, and when I talked to my boys about it one time after it happened, they're like, no, it didn't happen there, it happened here. I was like, fuck, you see, I have no idea what happened in that.
So yeah, the memory, like I've had I had concussion from skateboarding back when I used to like skateboard when I was like 11, 10 years old, stuff like that. I had a bad concussion, and ever since then I stopped skating.
Yep.
Yeah, man,
for sure.
I can agree with that.
Like I went back to hockey 5 years after that.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when I would go around when you go around the net fast on a turn on a wraparound,
get dizzy.
It felt like I stopped, but there was like it still moved even though I stopped.
Oh, I know what you mean.
So I remember when the guy that was with me, he goes, "You okay?" And I'm like, I'm not sure. I was like, shit's still moving. I'm not sure.
That's when you quit hockey?
Yeah, I stopped hockey. Yeah, that's when I was playing in an adult league every Sunday.
I still play.
And I went back and I stopped playing because these guys think they were playing for the fucking Stanley Cup and getting all pissed off and shit and throwing sticks in the ice. I'm like, oh, fuck this. I don't want to get injured. There was guys that were playing like it was, like they're out to get it. Seriously, like it's the finals, man.
To get you.
Yeah, so I'm like,
that's why we're like 20 guys. We've been playing together in the same league for like 15 years. We all have respect. We play how you want to be played. If you want to hit guys, be ready to be hit. If you want to give stick action, be ready for stick action.
Right.
And occasional times it's a passionate game. You're gonna have the odds fight, but it's all settled at the end of the game with beer. That's the beauty of it.
What's up, Tommy?
That's the respect that you earn right there too from it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's old school right there.
What's up, Tommy? What's up, Terrence? Glad you guys can make it.
Hello, Terrence.
Appreciate it. What's up? Speaking of Milwaukee, Bucks and 6, hell to the no.
Over the Nets?
Yeah, hell to the no.
The Greek Freak's gonna choke.
I just want to say I'm a Red Wings fan.
Red Wings fan. Dynasty's over, bud.
I'm a Blackhawks fan. Blackhawks.
Only losers play hockey.
The thing,
but the Habs are still in my heart. Habs are still in my heart.
I stuck with
the Red Wings fan is
the Lakers and the Eagles.
Reason why I'm
Eagles, like football Eagles.
Yeah. You know how happy I was when we took out the Patriots in 2017. We lifted that trophy, bro. Almost had tears in my eyes. Holy shit!
Sorry for that guy racing down the street.
Man.
Yeah, like
you must be happy. What's his name's gone, huh?
Shit.
Where's he at?
Dude, right when
Indianapolis?
we went 3-7, dude. Man, we've been playing like dog shit. The fact that you could be 3-7 and almost make playoffs by winning one round, going to the wild card round, that's trash. Fuck, that's garbage. You must be some legit garbage. We're trash, dude. They need a new quarterback. We need a new defensive line. Fuck the hell. I don't know what's gonna go on next season, man.
No, you guys have a nice quarterback. I don't know what his name is, but he had better games than he didn't. And the coach is already telling him that he's not starting. That organization's fucked, man.
Yeah, I miss Nick
Foles, man. Rid of that coach.
Shit, dude. Oh my god.
Reason why I'm a fucking Red Wings fan is because I live in San Jose and they're the fucking like arch enemies of fucking the Sharks.
Joe Flacco? You guys talking about Joe Flacco?
No, for Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
No, it was what's his name? Fuck. Hurts is there now. Isn't that the guy who backed up? What's his fucking name?
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. There you go.
Enzo, I'm gonna have to get off. I got to get some stuff done before tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll see you later tomorrow on your stream tomorrow, bud.
Yeah,
man.
Sorry, dude. I sent the link last night, and my phone said it sent it, and then it turns out they sent you a link from like another, like a week ago. Stream. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's okay, bro. I was just messing with you.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, it's better than what Andrea did. I said send Anzo the link, and he sent me the link. I'm like, I'm already in the stream.
I tried sending Paul the link, and I ended up sending the fucking link back to MSK.
Stop smoking
and I was
the
high
weed.
at that time too.
Stop smoking the weed.
It wasn't the weed. I will say this: it wasn't the weed.
Oh, really? Yeah, man. But it was a good show today, man. Because I'm actually gonna jump on another stream too as well. So,
okay, good talking with you guys.
Yeah, man.
You know,
it was.
You're turning into a real stream hoe, huh?
Yeah, don't say that. That's Chris's life. Andrea, you're not jumping on Nerdman stream?
That's where I was gonna go right now.
Yeah. So we're gonna head over there. It's gonna be like a Marvel versus DC thing. But before we go, you know how we
Birds
do.
Birds of Prey, the #1 movie.
Yo, I like Birds of Prey. So I don't give a fuck what these guys say. I liked it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible.
I like it a little bit, but I like to fucking troll with it.
It is a bad movie. I get that, but there were some things in it that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
but it is the best movie. So with that being said, guys, talk about your channels before we get out of here. Roberto, tell the people, sir.
Where's LDG? Where's LDG when I need him, man?
Yeah, you talking about your show's coming up. Your show's coming up.
Yeah, your show coming.
Yeah. Well, how many subscribers do I have?
Not even sure yet.
55.
You'll get there.
Yeah, I listen. I stay true to it. When I get to 101, bam, the show's coming. But I'm running out of patience. I might have to do it before 101.
Maybe, and then it'll get you there.
I think I will.
It might be a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely. 100%. But you do have Game Changers this week, so tell the people about that.
Well, Game Changers next week, Tuesday, because I forgot about the time shift and I forgot the show yesterday. That's what happens when you get old. But it's all good. I'll be there next Tuesday. I'll be hosting it. So maybe that'll get me to 101.
Absolutely.
Because the first time I hosted it, it shot me up pretty good.
100%.
Man. So I'm going to bring a fire topic Tuesday, fire topic. You can find me here Wednesday night with these fine gentlemen. And coming soon, Thursday night, F Your Ego with your host.
Man himself.
That'd be fun.
Absolutely.
You know, my cricket crew, respect.
Do you have a channel, Andrea?
Me, no. But I'll usually be appearing on MSK's channel. If you're not subscribed to him, subscribe to his channel. You know, he has like good amount of guests. He brings on these people at times. You know, I'm usually on there. I'm one of his mods. You know, all we have is good times. No fucking drama. None of that. Just good times and vibes.
Absolutely, it's fun. That's where I met him there, you know, and he was like, "Yeah, come on, O.O.C, and it was good to have you on, man. You know, you have an open invitation anytime you want to come on. Just let me know. It's definitely not a problem." Gaishka, your turn.
Yeah, well,
let's hear this.
The Basco Scenario is my channel. I just dropped do it your DIY video how you can repair a sewer pipe. So check that out. Also, movie reviews. I'm also on the Bad Batch Roundtable on Sundays at 8:30 on Chaos Central. Mondays 9 p.m. for the Chaotic Conversations on Chaos Central, hosted by Danny, aka Comet Chat. And Tuesdays 9 p.m. Chaos List, also on Chaos Central, as well as Big O Ford Entertainment, with Anzo being the host for that one. And then Wednesdays 9 p.m. Rule of Three. That's Chris Knight's show on the Chaos Central station, and then 10 p.m. right here. And can't forget Game Changers on Tuesdays at midnight. So definitely, like Roberto said, it's on his channel next week. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this man. Get him up to his 100 mark and move him even forward so that one day he's also going to be monetized.
I want to be a stream hoe too. So,
yeah.
I just want to say also last two.
Yeah, go ahead.
That link I posted in the private chat, you know, take a look at it, watch it. You know, it's a really fascinating documentary. Like if you're like looking at it objectively, and looking at everything around, it's really a real good documentary.
Absolutely. I did click on it, so I have it up. Well, I did have it up there. Hold on, where is it? You want to pop it in there again?
Yeah, I'll do it one more time.
Yeah, pop it in there again. I know I have.
Is this about gaming or what is this about?
I just put it in. Oh, I did.
No, it's not about gaming or anything. It's mainly about like you can say with conspiracies and stuff like that, but they're actually conspiracy facts. So if you want to use that term,
okay,
it's real fascinating stuff, actually.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. And once again, I do appreciate you coming on. It was a great show. You brought the fire. Problem. Everybody in here brought the fire. People in the chat do appreciate all you that came in. Terrence, Duck Dodgers, Tommy, Jason Lee, Mads, Mama Bear, and anybody else I miss. Aiden, Milwaukee Bucks. You know what I mean? Yo, we do this shit because you guys watch us, and we wouldn't be able to do it without you guys watching us. And I do appreciate that 100%. And I just have to ask Terrence with this one, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean you mixed your shirt in your protein shake? Please. I have no idea what you're talking about with that, but it's all good, man. Once again, peace, guys. What are you going to say?
Peace, everyone. I was going to say it's good to see everyone. Peace, guys.
Absolutely, man. Great to be on. It was a good show. We out. Peace. Ah, shit. Wrong end.